out, so no reason to worry. But it is a good opportunity for us to learn. And that's what you're concerned about, because markets are not as quick, and learning is a good time. That's for sure. So we are stuck in a range here. Well, kind of falling back into the range. Yesterday, we showed some patience and waiting for the opportunities, and I think we did okay doing that. Today, we're just kind of, I don't know if we're doing much. And again, we have two aspects here that are holding us back. One is this rally. Two is the summer. So we have the summer trade and we have this rally mode, which again, both of those things don't add up to, you got the circle with the cross through it. Do not, enter, right? Or whatever. This is like no volatility. So patience. All right. I can't express that enough because it is what it is. So let's see what's going on here. We got a little number coming out here at 9. I guess the president worked out some kind of infrastructure deal with the Republicans, so that made the market rally a little bit yesterday afternoon, if you were here. Passage is by no means assured. The bill excludes spending on education, healthcare, and poverty issues, which Democrats will try to push through in a separate budget maneuver later this summer. Passing two complex measures through different procedures at the same time will present a difficult challenge, and the current bill was only reached between moderate senators from each party. Biden has also repeatedly stated that he wouldn't sign any physical infrastructure legislation without the human infrastructure bill, like the American Families Plan. Don't forget threats of tight supplies for some materials, and companies that have paved roads and built bridges appear to have made a few plans to meet these needs. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, right? All right, we did kind of bounce here off of the blue band area there. If you were maybe a little bit middle between the blue band and the green band, if you maybe back into that value area, maybe if you dip your toe just a little bit, I don't know. It's a good reason. Again, we always are talking about reasons to trade, right? And that doesn't go without saying. You have to have reasons to trade, reasons to get into. Well, we talk about those reasons in our education course so that you feel confident in, executing trades. Dow futures retained the edge overnight as President Biden's announced agreement of a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Contracts linked to the index climbed, are up a little bit this morning, though the other averages weren't far behind. S&P is climbing and the NASDAQ is ahead as well. Upward movement is a stark change from last week's FOMC-induced sell-off, with all three indexes heading into today's session up 2.5% almost this week. Stressed out, not really. The bank shares are on the march higher after the Fed announced the biggest U.S. lenders can easily withstand a severe recession, according to the Dodd-Frank Act stress test results. The 23 financial institutions that participated will experience substantial losses under a severe adverse scenario, but would remain well above their minimum risk-based requirements and could continue lending to businesses and households. The question is, would they want to? That means big payouts like dividends and stock buybacks could be on their way, with announcements coming as soon as Monday. All right. Jump on those bank stocks. Investors this morning will be watching the latest figures from consumer consumption expenditures. The number is the Fed's preferred measurement for inflation, as it captures changes in the consumer behavior and has a broader scope than the CPI index. Well, that's why they were looking at that number, which wasn't a big deal usually. So they're looking at this consumer consumption, or what is a technical term for for its personal income number that comes out, and personal consumption is part of that number. So that's what the Fed says that they're looking at. That's why we had a little bit of a jump this morning, in case I guess I said, oh, I don't know why it's a big number, but now you know why. At least I know why. Year-to-date number in May was also the last reading that will factor in the base effects from depth of the pandemics. So pay more attention to the monthly figure. It is expected to show plus 0.6 in May and plus 0.7 in April, excluding food and energy. Let's see if we can find what it was. Well, if I find it, I'll let you know. All right, we're just kind of chopping around here, not going, kind of going nowhere fast. I think the number came out and it was kind of a miss, and that's why the market went up. They were expecting the 6 plus 0.6 came out at 3.4. So that's a pretty big miss, and that's why we actually had the market kind of pop here a little bit. So at least that's what that was a reason for that little miss. All right, so we're kind of holding here to our pivot area, as you can see. It's right around our pivot area. Kind of holding our blue band area too, if you were wondering. So we're just range bound and trying to inch our way forward as slow as can be. All right, so we have those numbers that came out. COVID concerns are lingering in the background due to the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant. 600,000 plus Americans have died. And with this Delta variant, there's going to be others as well. It's going to happen. We've got to get young people vaccinated, Biden said during his trip to North Carolina. The data couldn't be clearer. If you're vaccinated, you're safe. You're still at risk of getting seriously ill or dying if you, in fact, have not been vaccinated. That's just the facts. That's true. They said that 99% of the folks, unfortunately, that are dying from COVID at this moment have been people who are not vaccinated. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. All right. Very, very quiet morning, range bound morning. Bounce 159, 160 handle, 159 just now. But so they're also staying somewhat strongish considering what is happening. Then we're kind of holding our blue band here. I don't know if anything's going to happen or not. Whatever you're going to do, make sure you keep your stops in place. At 69, the upside is our first resistance area. If we ever get there. It's been a slow week, but I think we've done okay by showing and making sure that we are patient and wait for this market to kind of make a move. That is the reason, or that's one reason why we are profitable, is because we are patient. All right. I mean, we like to average about 4 to 5 trades during the course of any day, and I think average is the key word here. I think we do average that, except we're not going to get that average. And we haven't got to that point lately, but it's okay. I think the other day, one day this week, we were, we had like 2 or 3 trades right before 8:30, right before 9 o'clock. So we do have a number coming out here, 9, kind of a smallish number. But again, is what it is. So consumer sentiment is coming out here at 9. Could we repeat the levels again in the chat box area for those of you who might have missed those? There you go. Alrighty. I woke up this morning to see that the Chicago Cubs pitched a no-hitter against the almighty Los Angeles Dodgers. What? I had to make sure that was correct. I couldn't believe it. I had to reread that. Amazing. I'm not a baseball fan, but that's not supposed to happen. I don't know how that even occurred. But hey, I guess stuff happens. That's why you play the game, right? That's what they say. You would think that, as soon as Cubs, Dodgers, it's an easy game. There you go. Grew up on the South Side, but he's a Cubs fan. All right. I think Cubs blue matches up very nicely with Dodger blue. I mean, that's my, boy. Yeah, boy, here he goes. Every dog has its day. Wow. 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 Cub fans would tell Dodger fans that they hit us no hitter. That was awesome game, great game, great pitching. You deserved it. Every dog has its day. Can't even get a compliment from these Dodger fans. The Cardinals always remain the enemy, right? And at least in Chicago, anyway. Well, definitely not going to have this rivalry between Dodgers and the Cubs, that's for sure. We just like to go out to California and beat them at home over there. I don't know. That's what they say. Whoops, a little rotation here. Look at that. Amazing. So again, patience is important. You never know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. We're just range bound here. Support on the downside is at 56. Hi there, Gene. How are you? Gene, if you want to ask a question, just go ahead, put it in the chat box area. If you bring up the chat box area, that's where you would want to just ask a question. And anybody who has a question, please feel free to put your question in the chat box area. Market's kind of going nowhere fast here. Yes, that's why we had that little pop. You see that big line there? A little pop there at 7:30. Again, welcome to some of the new folks that are here. If you bring up the chat box area, you're going to see the levels imprinted in the chat box area. Those are the opportunities, the areas that we have to use as a guide for the day. Opportunities, support and resistance areas. We can adjust them, add to them, subtract from them, tweak them, all of those. Given the price action. And right now, as you can see, the price action is it's just kind of a range bound here, not a big deal. But you never know when things are going to happen. So there, if you look at the chat box area, for those of you who might have come in a little bit late or don't know what we're doing, We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market using those levels, in addition to the price action opportunities. We have a number coming out here in about momentarily now, as it's out, and they didn't really lighten up the ladder ticket that much. So, and the pivot right here is at 64, and that's where we're at. So very quiet. It's been that kind of week. Well, we had a little bit of business earlier this week, but otherwise it's been fairly quiet. But we've been very patient and waiting for our opportunities to trade. We're trading mini S&Ps. We used to have we used to be on the Florida exchange, but the floor is no more, unfortunately. The floor is no more. Doesn't even sound good. Right, so this first support level we have is down at 56. It's just kind of hanging in a little range here. Nothing to get too excited about. About any news that's coming out that already came out, so that's not moving us, going to move us. All right, we're right back here at our pivots, kind of going nowhere fast. Tis what it is. Again, if anybody has any questions, if you put them in the chat box area, we can see them faster. And it's a good time to ask questions when things are somewhat on the slow side. Well, I can see it tried to extend here a little bit. We had 69 above. I don't know who woke the market up there, but somebody woke it up for a little bit. Went from the kind of same area before up here. We have 69 above as our next level of resistance. Very little choppy trade, right? Choppy is not good. We need volatility movement, but hey, choppy is what we have, and got to trade it accordingly. Well, we have a resistance up there. There was a couple buying opportunities below there between the top of the value if you were a little bit aggressive. Right now, I mean, again, there's people have different risk tolerances there, Francisco. So if you were, I explained different opportunities to trade, different setups. They're called setups. In this situation, the 69 area would be as resistance, so we would look for it to sell there, or if you got long anywhere along the line, you're going to use that as a target to get out of any longs. So what we put together is a game plan using the levels that we give out plus the price action opportunities the market presents for us. Those price action opportunities can vary depending on each individual's risk tolerance and how much risk one individual is willing to take. We try to explain the opportunities with these price action opportunities, and then it's up to you as a trader to make that determination whether you want to participate with those price action opportunities. So basically, recognition of the trade, which are the price action opportunities, is the aspect that we're talking about. And then the execution part is your choice. So the more you start recognizing a trade that reoccurs every time we're trading, you see it develop, you see it work itself out, you understand why it's working, then you can participate in that trade. So there was a couple of buying opportunities. Some of our more aggressive traders around the 61 to 60 area for a reason, not because it's holding now, but the price action opportunities, and some of our traders have taken that trade. I could tell because they're letting me know. And again, so it varies between people and individual traders. I'm there to try to explain to you the different opportunities, show them to you, explain to you why they would work, explain where your exit strategy would be. And then it's up to you as a trader to say, oh, I like this trade. I want to take it because I've seen it work before, and then take advantage of the opportunity. So that's what we are waiting for, opportunities to trade. So again, it's the methodology here is we try to explain it to you, and then as a trader, I mean, the goal here of this course is to make you a trader and to make independent decisions as far as what trades you want to take based on logical concepts that have worked in the past. And as long as you understand the logic behind the trade, then it's up to you to participate in it. I hope that makes it. I hope that explains it. And it was, some of our, like I said, some of our traders could have gotten along to the 60 to 62 area for a reason. If you did that, you're doing okay with it as they bounce there off it. And was it logical to get in? Absolutely. Some of you are a little bit more risk averse. Maybe you're waiting for the 56 area. There's a little support at 58. It's just, that the only, when I give out levels, I'm giving out levels, based on not so much tighter areas, but try to take a little bit more risk out of them. It doesn't mean that there's other levels in there that don't work. It's just riskier. So I explain the risk, and then it's up to you to participate in trading around that risk. Yeah, we're kind of hanging up here on the highs. We've got a little resistance around the 69 area. Support right now would be around the pivot there at 64. Right, welcome some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We can repeat the levels. If you look at the chat box area, you'll see the levels that are imprinted there for us. Those are levels that we use as a guide for the day. As the market slowly upticking here. If you are long, you're targeting here the 69 area. And those are levels that we use for the day as a guide. We can adjust them, tweak them, delete them. Anything is dependent. All of that is dependent on price action. As we're coming up here, coming to test the 69 area, maybe. So again, we like to scale around an area, so some like to scale point above and below, some half point above and below, some just like to take the level depending on your risk tolerance. Let's continue to get a little bit weak. Maybe adding to a little bit of a rally here. I don't know. It's very, very thin there. Very, very light trade. Not much volume. Yes, all of those are true. That's why we tell you to keep your stops in place, especially with these all-time highs, right? If you did manage to maybe buy them down there around the 60 area, then you're targeting this level up here. Probably 61 area more likely. Okay, we'll work in this 16.9 area here a little bit. Again, it's very, very quiet, very, very subdued trade, slow. We're just kind of hanging here, trying to turn over. Just taking its time, though. Taking its lazy old time. Anyway, that's where we're at. And the deal is with this trade is you have to be patient even when you get the trade on. And you have to obviously work the trade, decide how long you want to stay in it. We do have a time value here of how long you should get into a trade and stay in it. I know how much is going on, but it is a factor that you have to consider after a while. Like I said, you have to consider a time factor here after a bit. very stubborn up here, isn't it? Fortunately, this is what happens with these rally markets, right? They just get stubborn. They don't move around that much, and you have to, consider the time factor here. It's just part of the game, especially on the rally part when they start rallying. And we've been in this mode for a while now. Well, that's nice. We got up to 69 and rotate a little bit here off that level. That's the first big move, catch that move. The big move we've had biggest move we've had in a while. All right, again, like I said, we're slowly upticking. This could be it for the day, considering how slow it's trading and what it's doing. It gets just one-way trade going and becomes very difficult for us to trade. This is not our favorite kind of trade, that's for sure. So as long as we understand that and then adjust accordingly, that's why you have to consider the time factor. That's why you have to consider maybe taking less than 2 points. If you're not long, if you didn't get long going up to it. All these things are factors that you have to consider when you're trading, and we explained that in our education courses to the different dynamics of each different market. And we're in a rally mode market on a Friday with low volume. Those dynamics don't bode too well for us, and just have to take what the market gives us. Sometimes it's going to give us 2, 3 points, sometimes 4, sometimes a point. It just is what it is, considering also there's very light volume, and it's again, market is kind of hanging here right at the 69 area, giving you choices as to what you want to do with this trade. It's not like we're going anywhere fast. It's just kind of hanging. Again, time factor is a part of the action here. How long are we going to be in the trade? We've been in this for about 20 minutes already. It's getting old. And we're getting a little bit of a rotation here. I don't know. Surprise, surprise. Very much a rotation. It's just, that's the top end. If you did take it. Nice trade there, Robert C. It's a Friday, for heaven's sakes. Again, giving you choices here. It's not like it's running away, but we've been in this trade a long, long time already. So you have to make a decision as to, what you're going to do. You're going to take a little bit out of it and be done with it because it just doesn't seem like it wants to turn over. It is what it is. Trying very hard to give us a little bit of a profit here. It's trying. Bonds continue to downtick though. It is trying. Not that much. Give it an A for effort. These rally markets seem like they're just like pulling teeth sometimes to get a little bit of a rotation. But as long as we understand that, trade it accordingly. So, like I said, maybe take a little bit less than 2 points, be happy with it, and look for the next opportunity. Given it's a Friday, given the market dynamics right now are the way they are, and if we were trying to get you long down there was a good solid reason to scoop some up down below. We talked about that earlier. All right, finally giving us a little bit of rotation here. Took a long time, but we finally got filled. Again, you can, if you're trading multiple contracts, you're taking some profits and keeping some, but hopefully if you took you took a little bit of heat, it's just not so much the heat as the time. All right, there, you two there, Mark. Enjoy your sorrows. Don't worry. There's always tomorrow. Yeah, right. Go Cubs. Right. Okay. All right. Well, it took a little bit of time, but we got our rotation in the market. Now support would be around the 65 area. If you're looking for some support area, if you're looking to see what you want to cover the rest of this, if you have multiple contracts. Or if not, if you're flat, that's awesome. And then we'll just be patient. Look, it's Friday. We waited an hour or more. That might be it for today. Well, we had a couple other trades, like I said earlier on this morning, if you were a little aggressive, but not a big deal. If you didn't take them, I just waited for the resistance area here at 69. All right. Well, we've got a nice rotation against our first resistance area. We are extremely, extremely slow. So nice trade for, again, patience prevailed, right? And you had to show some patience there. And as long as we showed a little bit of patience, waited for the opportunity to present itself, then we were fine. There were other opportunities along the way. Again, depending on how aggressive you want it to be. And kind of considering, yeah, 64, 65 area would be if you were a little support. If you had to trade, yes. So support there at 65, 64 area, which is our pivot. All right. How do you say watching grass grow is more exciting? We are there. It is what it is, unfortunately. Again, we had a nice rotation against our upper level resistance there. And now we're just kind of hanging here against our blue band if you're maybe aggressive there. Maybe. But given the ranges are getting tighter and tighter, the only thing Ponzi are a little moving to the downside, maybe helping the little rally. I don't know if we're getting inverse trade. That I don't know. Yeah, now it looks like you probably don't want to do anything right now. It could easily rotate back down. I mean, this is very, 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 very dull little trade here. All right. Again, very, very quiet. Not much happening. Be very patient. Had a nice rotation against our upper level there. All right, we'll take a little bit of a break here. Come back, see what's going to happen or not. Again, market is rotating down here a little bit. Probably look at the, well, like I said, 64 area if you're looking to do anything, but I'm not. Downside support, well, we got the green band there at the 61 area that held a couple times. Or just wait for the 56 on the downside. Really, really slow trade. So you got to temper your expectations. Temper down. You know what I mean. But again, like I said, we had a nice rotation against our level, and now we're just kind of hanging. All right, get back in a bit.
Hey, quick shout out, a couple programming notes. For those that are joining us that are new, coming in as guests, welcome aboard. I've got a link for you if you're interested in signing up for this service on a monthly basis at a discount. Usually it's $379 a month. Right now it's on for $100 a month. Let me see if I can grab that. This is the only link that works for that. So take a moment and make sure you sign yourself up. That should be out to all attendees right now. Santino, let me know if you got that. Rick P, let me know if you got that. Rick P. JM, let me know if you got that. Gene D, let me know if you got that. Frank C. Francisco, let's, why don't you give us a call? Just let me know if you're around. I can take your call now. Anupam, Andrew P. Hey, Anupam, welcome. Andrew P. Hey, Carlos, you just change your status as far as Saul's friends and family? Just let me know. I think I saw something like that. Just let me know back in chat.